Please, guys, if you can hear, let me know if you can see the picture on the screen, if you are here on this universe, with the same universe as I am. Okay, great. It's great. It's great. Thank you. Great. So I will close now the other telephone, just to make sure that we are all together. So welcome everyone. It's just the usual problems with this platform that I'm using for the streaming. Welcome, my dear, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. We have about 3 minutes before we start, and I am taking you to the place where we will usually begin the tour multiple number of times. Please let me know. I will, where is this chat? How is Kiev? It's so beautiful. It's blooming. It's just like Paris. I don't know, even more beautiful. Today I had the first night here. I slept in my bed, drink from my cup, and there was no bombing, no air raid sirens, because before that, like a few days before that, we are Russians were celebrating the Victory Day. And that is why there was 2 attacks. One attack was with bombs, and the other attack was with drones. So Kiev suffered a lot, and now probably it's kind of a break from these attacks. I will be here for 9 days, and then I will go back to Prague. Hello, Yeliseychik. Hello, Yeliseychik. There is my youngest son. He's screaming, "Mama!" Mama means mother. So as usual, all my family is just keep joining. Nothing has changed. It's very beautiful. I will just show you for a second, and then you will see me again. So you see, it's just so peaceful here, so beautiful. I'm so excited that you found the time to join me today, and thank you so much for bringing your smiles here. So this is the old Kiev Hill, actually, the place where Kiev was founded. Okay, yes, it's so amazing. We will begin in 1 minute. I want everyone to join, and let me tell you the story how I arrived yesterday. I arrived late at night, about 9 p.m. and it was a coincidence, but at the same time the train from Kherson arrived. Kherson, this is probably you remember we were celebrating with the whole world. We were celebrating that Kherson is liberated. It was in November, and then the soldiers came from Kherson, and I saw how the wives were meeting them. These ladies were standing with flowers, ladies, the wives, their girlfriends are meeting the husbands with the flowers, and I couldn't I couldn't film them because it's this is the private thing, but the whole train of the soldiers, of military men, go out on this platform, and there are all the ladies are standing. So I'm so excited for yes. So but I want just to tell you what I felt when I saw how our Ukrainian women, strong Ukrainian women, are meeting their men. It's something extraordinary. There is so much pride in their eyes, a little bit probably fear, because they were afraid that are they healthy, are they injured or not. But those men, they came for rotation, not they were all well, and they were just having 8 days of break. What I wanted to tell you that I really don't understand when I was looking at them. I really don't understand why it's that all is happening here, and all the I'm here for a day, and I'm looking at the eyes of the people, at the streets which are blooming with the trees, with the flowers. You will see them now, and I don't understand why it's all happening here. What is the sense of the war? Why Russians are fighting? What they are fighting for? What is the goal there is the life, all the life just surrounds me, the life and the love and the spring, because the spring is just the beginning of everything. Look here, look how beautiful, look how beautiful. You don't feel the war here. And I will tell you now the words of one of the soldiers. When I was passing by, I just explained to you that this was on the kind of platform where the soldiers arrived. So one of the soldier told his wife when he was hugging her, "I can't turn off the war." So he looked around. He just arrived at the platform, and he was standing at the train station, and he said to his, I don't know, wife or girlfriend, "I can't turn off the war." There is so much in these words. That is why I would like to tell you that people who are fighting now, they can't turn off the war. Yes, it looks absolutely normal here. It looks so beautiful here, just if nothing is happening. But people who are there, they can't turn off the war. And I would like to thank you, everyone who is fighting now for us, to our soldiers and to our military men. Let me show you this beautiful picture. You see the man in the uniform is making the bubbles for the kids. I remember him. He was doing the same when I came last summer here. It's so amazing. So amazing. So we are going to start over there. So that is the life that is still continuous in the capital of the country, which is at war. And this is the start of our today's tour. Welcome everyone to Kiev. My name is Olga, and I am a tour guide in Kiev, Ukraine. I even using my license now just not to frighten people when they are hearing English here on the streets. And the lilac is blooming. You know that I'm taking you to lilac forest. This was one of the reasons why I decided to come here. I was so hesitant. About coming here. I was thinking for a couple of days, and now I know that it's been not a mistake, because I'm going to show you everything. Thank you so much for coming, and please join my YouTube channel if you are new to my YouTube channel. I'm so grateful for those of you who keep joining my tours on Hego and here in Ukraine when I'm just streaming on Hego or on my own on YouTube. This is a completely free tour. If you're enjoying it, if you want to support me, you can always send your tips to PayPal and to the Buy Me a Coffee. They are mentioned to all of my videos in the description, and they also mentioned in the description to this live stream. But first and foremost, I am super excited to have you all here and share the most beautiful days of the year here in Kiev. The most beautiful days of the year, and it's just when it is war, it's so painful to walk and to look at this beauty, knowing that so many people lost their lives just for the fact that I can smell this beautiful lilac. Just for that. So when you're here somewhere on the other side of the planet, don't have this war fatigue, and please keep telling your friends about Ukraine. I remember like yesterday it was Eurovision. Please send me a heart if you watched it. I was super proud of I was so proud of our people who were singing the songs there. So Shedrik, Carol of the Bells, you remember that I was making the special tours, and the whole world heard this. Carol of the Bells is a Ukrainian melody. It was invented and it was written by the Ukrainian composer. We're so proud to be Ukrainians. We're paying such a high price, and today's story is very, very special for me. Thank you so much for sharing these special moments of being here, of being in my city. For me, it's not the usual tour, and all these tours will be very emotional because I was here when it was like peace. Now I'm preparing the new project, which is called The Price of Blue and Yellow Victory, and I will be telling on another YouTube channel and another channel about the people who lost their lives. So when I read the stories and walk in the beautiful Kiev, I just have all these pictures, all the beautiful faces of this young man, brave young man who will never see that again. So let's go, and I'm going to show you the best of the best. We are going to discover the place where Kiev was founded. We'll be watching, yes, the final, there was semi-final, great. But you know, all the like Ukraine should be hosting it. And instead of Ukraine, UK is hosting Eurovision. Yes, there is electricity in my apartment. And everywhere, it's also Ukrainian. And I'm so grateful to people from UK that you are so supportive. Thank you for being with me, and don't go away, we're just beginning. So let me show you the landscape alley. Do you remember the landscape alley? We were here during the winter times. Look here, how beautiful. Yes, it's in Liverpool, exactly. So I'd like to make my tours memorable, and I am showing you just the ordinary playground, but it's absolutely beautiful ordinary playground because it's just like looks like a fairy tale. It's called Landscape Alley. It's just very bright, beautiful place in the historical center of Kiev, because we are in the place where the Kiev was founded, and it was created in 2010. The adults like to drink sparkling wine here. It's one of my favorite places. I remember it in winter, in spring, in autumn, and the kids like to have fun here. It's Alice in Wonderland. So when you just need to feel like a child, you need to come here and to see the project of famous young Ukrainian artist and sculptor Konstantin Skridutsky. So it was created in 2010. I can tell you that it's a little bit, you see, the zebras are a little bit not in their best condition, but probably after the war everything will be repaired. It wasn't damaged by the missile, but it's just because of the time. It was created some time ago, and this is the place that you need to visit when you really want to feel like you are in the fairy tale. I'm walking on the upper part of the defense walls. Yes, this is my mom, and my mom, hello, mama, привет, and thank you for being so supportive to my mom. So this is the chestnuts. They are blooming. I will be showing you chestnuts all the way along our tour today, because the chestnuts are the symbol of Kiev, and this is the time when they are all in full bloom. And this is the bench for the couples who are in love. You see, they can hide inside and nobody can see them, but they are made of the mosaics. It's very beautiful. For example, this is a giant fish. I will show you myself now sitting here. Look here, and voila, we are hidden. Like, we can sit here and nobody see what we are doing, what we are drinking, eating. Very cozy benches. How do you like these benches made from mosaic? It's so beautiful. And there is a huge caterpillar cat. Caterpillar cat. It's 40 meters long. And it's very bright. You need to step inside the cat's jaw, and then you will have the brightest pictures from Kiev. It's absolutely beautiful. Just yes, the whole playground is made from mosaics. Look at the length of this cat. It's just enormous. You can walk and walk and walk, and you will come to the other side of the park. Actually, more than 40 meters long. I think 42 meters long. It's absolutely unique and beautiful place. And here you need to stand in his jaw, and you will be having this kind of the postcard. Okay. Let's pin this moment. Let's stop here. When you will be visiting Kiev next time after victory, please remind me about the store, and we will make a picture together here standing in the cat's door. Yes, it's confusing, and I will be talking about it throughout the tour. When I will have time, I will be walking along the Andrew's descent to Podil, to the lower city, and we will talk about these things, that what happened in Kiev, how the city has changed. Now I would like to concentrate here on these beauties, and I will develop on this topic a little bit later. I don't want to begin with this with the war signs. So let's go and explore the other benches. Like this is a hare, for example. I will talk about, yes, this confusion and what do people feel and how it was changed. Okay, so this is how it's happening, you see. I will not go further because, it's a privacy moment, but it's just inside the hare. These benches are the highlight of this park. It's absolutely adorable and so beautiful. So again, I'm going to repeat that I'm walking along the high rampart. The rampart that was built many years ago during the Kievan Rus period. It was the protection of the city. These were the defense ramparts of the 10th century, and this path repeats the path of the old city walls. And that is another bench. Yes, they are all different. The bunny was eating someone here, so let's see. The people are sitting inside the bunny. I didn't want to disturb them. We are standing on the Old Kiev Hill. Old Kiev Hill, this is the place where the city was founded. And we are standing on the upper city. So there were three brothers, Ki, Shek, Harif, and their sister Libid, and they founded Kiev city more than 1,500 years ago. So how the story goes, the brothers picked up different hills for them to live. So the eldest brother was living here on this hill, and his name was Ki. That is why the name of the city is Kiev. And he was the founder of the city, and after him, the city got its name. Thank you so much. Thank you. So we are having absolute fun today. See, we're having the bubbles, and so Ki lived here. The eldest brother lived here in the old Kiev Hill. And this is the observation platform near the National Museum of History of Ukraine. So we are now moving to that observation platform, and I'm going to show you the exact place where Kiev was founded. So this region, this neighborhood is absolutely beautiful, and I will just focus again, on this path. Because when you're here, you really don't feel that the war is happening here in this country, and this is the epicenter of the hottest, kind of war zone in the earth. It's full of history, it's full of art, it's full of beauty. And now we are going to explore this amazing view from the Kiev Hills. The place is always full of artists, full of singers, painters. They are all sitting in the Andrew's descent. We are going to go down today along this street. And this aura of, we call it Kiev Montmartre, is always here. It's just, it's all about the artists, craftsmen selling the pictures, about the glass, ceramic objects, souvenirs. So this is the place where you are going to buy souvenirs when you will come here after our victory. And you can see the Andrew's Church. We will come closer in a while. So now you can see the peaceful situation here. Their light is here. People have internet connection. They are just sitting on the lawns, relaxed, and nothing reveals the war. But it is in the eyes of the people. It is in the eyes of the children. It is in the eyes of everyone when you kind of come close and speak to some of them. And other brothers, I just mentioned you about Ki. He lived here on the old Kyiv hill, and the other brothers lived on the other hills. You are going to see them now from this highest point. So there was other brothers, Shek, and he had the hill which is named Shekavitsa, and Hariv, Harivitsa. And let me show you this symbolic sign. It says all the Kievan Rus lands came from here. So this is the initial moment. This is the moment when I need to tell you that this was the beginning of Kievan Rus. It's not the stone that belongs to the 10th century, no. It's just the symbolic stone. But don't mix Rus and Russia, because Rus and Russia is not the same, and probably I will make a detailed video about that on my YouTube channel. It was transformed later by Peter I. He decided to use the new name. So the name for Russia was not Russia, it was Moscovia. And then in the 1700s, Peter I decided to have a new name, just to be, I don't know, more noble and to have this connection to the old Kievan Rus roots. And he decided to name the country Russia, to give the new name. But actually, it wasn't kind of Rus. This was Kievan Rus, the mighty feudal state that existed here in the 11th, 13th centuries. Okay, so let's go and try to see this Kiev hills. That is the Bold Mountain where witchers gather for their Sabbath, and I have a tour on the Bold Mountain, but not this time. Next time I will be showing it to you. But I was, if you remember, I was streaming someday from the top, and just below us is the ghost city of millionaires. You don't see you just see the roofs. So there are two hills in front of us, Harivitsa for Hariv, Shekavitsa for Shek, and these were the other two brothers. So let's go. We have the big plans to explore. That is the Padil, the lower city, where we are going to finish our tour today. And everything is so beautiful and green. That is the National Museum. Let's go and catch this bohemian atmosphere that reigns here. You are going to see the cafes, the galleries. Many of them are closed, but Kiev still lives its own life, and the people are paying the price for that. You are going to see today beautiful architecture, and these artists, they create very nice vibe. So we are walking along the place where used to be the palace of Prince Vladimir. He baptized Kievan Rus, and he used to receive guests here. So there were his palaces, and here was the rotunda of Princess Olga. So it's kind of ancient hill. You don't see these buildings here because, like, you know, they are all demolished. It's been a long time ago, and there are no buildings, but there are kind of stones that are marking the place. For example, that is the rotunda of Olga. And just next to the palace of Prince Vladimir, there was the first church, first stone church. It was called the 10th church, like tithes. There are different pronunciation. It's called so because Prince Vladimir allocated the 10th part of everything that he had to build this church. Why it was so important? He baptized Kievan Rus. He needed a church. He needed a new stone mighty church so people could come and fill the garden. So he built it here near his palace. And all the nobles in the country paid also the 10th of their income. The church of tithes. I don't know, tithes or tithes. I call it the church of tithes. But just to let you know that it derives from the word 10, because people paid the 10th of everything they had. And unfortunately, no, it's not the... So unfortunately, in the 13th century, in 2037, when Khan Bati, the grandson of Genghis Khan, came here and conquered Kiev, all the people ran here to this place. So over there was the church, and they hid in the walls of that church. I'm going to show you the picture. They are just on the plaque from the other side. And the church was ruined. It's like the foundations are still preserved. They are below this mark. So you can see here, these are actually the layout, the plan of the Church of Tithes. And it was built by the Byzantine craftsmen, but the foundations are here. And this is the site of archaeological, this is the archaeological site, and people decided not to restore the church, not to rebuild it, because it can never be repeated. So that was the wonderful first stone church of Kievan Rus. And now I'm going to show you the beautiful place, the beautiful plaque, and you will see how it looks like many years ago. So there were actually 3 of them. That was the first one, you see, built in the 13th century. It looks like this, like old Byzantine style. Then it was the church built in the 17th century, and finally this one, and again that was ruined. So now nothing stands here. But there was some interesting story. So one wealthy Kiev landowner decided to build here, like somewhere here, over there, on the kind of next to the church, on the opposite side of the church. He decided to build just his wooden house. And when he began to dig to make this foundation, I'm going to show you this house, he found the treasure. He found the gold coins, the jewelry, the vessels from the 10th century, because that was the church's courtyard. So he had this permission to excavate, and it turned out that there was one of the biggest treasures of Kievan Rus. So there were so many artifacts, and he decided to give that to the back then Nicholas I, that was the Russian emperor, and he even was awarded by the Order of Saint Vladimir. But a few years later, it turned out that he didn't give everything. He just hid the biggest portion of everything that he found, and he was a gambler, so he decided to melt everything. He decided to melt the most beautiful and the most expensive treasures to gold, and he paid with this gold his debts. And that is why this house that you are looking now, it's called the House of Black Archaeologist, because he was a kind of archaeologist who was excavating, digging, found the treasure. He gave part of the treasure to the government, and the part of the treasure he just hid, and that was the main loss of our history and our this historical heritage, because he melted down a lot of artifacts that belonged to the 10th century. Now I'm going to focus on the architecture, and we will go down. We will begin going down the Andrew's Descent. There are so many of you today. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Olga, and I'm a tour guide in Kiev, Ukraine. I will be having here tours for a week. Please join me tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, and then also next week. But please come to my lilac tour. Don't forget that I have a very special moment for you. I'm going to show you lilac forest just now. Register for this tour and just allocate the time and write down in your diary by hands, like with manually with your pen and pencil. You don't have. You just need to be on Lilac Forest with me. It's just top event, top destination, and I'm so excited to take you there. I've been there with you 2 years ago, yes, when I was just starting my Hego career. And then 1 year I skipped Lilac Forest because of the war, and this year I am going back and we will have this tour. I'm super excited to show you the biggest lilac garden in Europe. It's magnificent, and YouTube doesn't have smell-o-vision, but still you will be just amazed. Let's go and see more. So you see that is the reconstructed beautiful, it's not palace actually, just the house of the 19th century. And we are beginning our walk down the Andrews Descent. It's a village-like street, and there are many shops and cafes locally owned. This is the cafe of our famous chef. His name is Evgen Klopotenko, and he is cooking borscht. He is making our Ukrainian cuisine very popular. And now he's in Liverpool, and he is cooking borscht for the UK. Please let me know if you are from Liverpool. So find Evgen Klopotenko, he will give you some tasty borscht. If you are not from Liverpool, you can join me someday and you will cook the borscht with me. So let's go and see the Andrews Church and the most beautiful landmarks of Andrews Descent. So it's just the symbol, so that is the symbol of Andrews Descent, Andrews Church. It's a masterpiece of Ukrainian Baroque art. And it's really my favorite church, and the most eye-catching churches in Kyiv, because it is on the hill, and it's super beautiful. It's just it looks like it's soaring in the air. You can see it's like Eiffel Tower. It's not the Eiffel Tower, but I like this comparison. When I was in Paris, like you can see Eiffel Tower from everywhere. She is like telling to you, "Hi, you're here. You're in Paris. I'm Eiffel Tower. Don't forget about me." And we have, for this purpose, sent this Andrews Church. Because from especially from the lower city, you look at it and you see, oh, that is Kyiv. That is Kyiv. I'm so excited that you are not going away. Thank you. Thank you for being with me today. These are very important tours. Thank you for joining, and thank you for remembering to come here today with me. Nobody is traveling to Ukraine. The planes are not flying here. You can get here just by bus or by train. And there are just, I think, 3 trains from Warsaw, from Prague, and from Vienna. So not so many options. And everybody wants to see Kyiv, but it's difficult to come here. So I am doing that for you. I have bought ticket to Ukraine, and I'm showing you everything live. I'm doing this because I really need you. It's not just you need Kyiv, but I need you. You are my, the team. You are the people who support me. And it's very important for me to come here and to feel like I am not alone. To feel that someone needs me. To show Kyiv to the world. That is why please bring your friends next time to these tours. Probably you can send the link to your best friends. And I will be super grateful, because the more people I have on my YouTube channel, the quicker I will develop. And let's go explore. It's beautiful, this beautiful Baroque church. No, now no one can go inside, but it's working. It's working, it's not closed, because it's just like the local time is 7:30 and it's working up to 5 p.m. So I am going to make a special video on YouTube, you will see inside, everything inside. But here you can see that it's just amazing, even from outside. It's the place where, according to the legend, the Apostle Andrew, he was one of the apostles he was traveling to Rome, and he was walking along Ukrainian lands. So he came here, and on this place was the Dnieper River was flowing. I will explain now, Jane, about Buy Me a Coffee. I will finish about the church, and thank you for asking about this. So here, according to the legend, the sea was flowing. So Apostle Andrew came to the very top of the hill. There, sea didn't touch him, and he erected the cross. So he put the cross and he blessed this land, and he predicted that once on this place a great city would appear with wonderful churches, and the sea backed away and let the land be for the city of Kiev. So who built this church? It was built by Russian Empress Elizabeth I, the daughter of Peter I. I'm speaking so loudly, so quietly, because it's so cringy to pronounce the word Russian here. I even kind of covering myself Russian. Russian Empress Elizabeth I. Have you heard who founded the church? Russian Empress Elizabeth I, daughter of Peter I. It's not popular. The word Russian is not popular in Kiev. Probably you know why. The reason of that. But she had a Ukrainian lover. That is why probably she wanted to get married here with him here in this church, and she came in the 19th century here, and she ordered to build a church and a palace. So thanks to Russian Queen Empress Elizabeth I, we have the beautiful Mariinsky Palace, and we have Hi. Hello. We have the palace and the church here, and it's so beautiful. I will just again show you the church. And so this Empress Elizabeth I, she has never been officially married to her lover, and she didn't have any children. But her love story is absolutely relevant to Ukraine, because she fell in love with the the son of the Cossacks. His name was Alexa Rozum, and he was a Ukrainian. He had a wonderful voice. He sang in her court choir, and he was brought to Russia to sing in this church choir. And then the Russian Empress Elizabeth fell in love with him and even secretly married him. Probably, I don't know, in some other place, not here, because she has never visited this church. But in 1744, she came here to Kiev to visit the motherland of her lover. And I just can feel like her carriage is stopping here on this place, and she saw the hill. And she decided that here, on this hill, their church should be built especially for her. And of course, she ordered the church to be built by her favorite architect, Bartolomeo Rastrelli, who built the Winter Palace in St. Petersburg. You know Anna from St. Petersburg, she will tell you about St. Petersburg, not me. But the same architect, he was the favorite architect of that empress. I will not repeat her name. So she had 15,000 dressers. She wanted to have the church just for her. That is why this church doesn't have bells, because it was built just for one person, for the Empress Elizabeth I. And it doesn't have bells. It called the silent church. And also it doesn't have bells because the sound of the bells might wake up this sea that still sleeps here. And it's not the legend. There is underground water. It puts the pressure on the foundation of the basement of the church, and it costs a lot of money to to maintain it. So what about Russian Empress? She loved this Ukrainian man, and she gave him everything. He was her favorite, and she granted him a noble title. She made him the most dignified and wealthy person in the Russian Empire, and in 1744 she decides to build here her residence, summer residence, because she liked to visit Crimea, and Kiev was a stop on that itinerary. So probably she wanted to get married here on this church, who knows. But I absolutely love the vibrant colors of the facade. It's not even a church, it's a real work of art. It's the starlight of our city. It's inside you will see the bright red iconostasis of linden wood. It's covered by gold, with gold, and I'm going to go inside and just follow my YouTube channel to see this church inside. It's absolutely remarkable. It's here on the so-called Kiev's Montmartre. Can you resemble like any, do you feel like I'm walking in Paris? You see, I have cobblestone streets, I have these cafes, I even will show you the Eiffel Tower now in a second. And we are going around the church, and I'm going to show it to you from different angles. So it's not a surprise that Elizabeth I decided to build such a masterpiece, because she had the biggest collection of dressers, 15,000. She liked parties and balls, and she wanted to have the most beautiful Baroque church. It's really not a church, it's like jewel-like building. She has many projects in Baroque style, and that is why this Baroque architecture is famous, is notable for this luxurious, impressive interior and exterior. These are the cafes, how they look like. It's evening hours, and you see that kind of there are no signs of war, but we will talk about this in a while. We even have the Eiffel Tower here for you. And we even have the flag of Czech Republic. So I try to connect the dots. You see, Ukrainian flag, European flag, and the flag of Czech Republic. It's probably a reminder for me that I am going to go there in a few days. We have music here, we have artists here, we have everything here. So I'm taking you now to the concert. Don't go away. There is a wonderful people singing songs for you. So if you want to tip me, if you want to support your Ukrainian guide who traveled to the war zone to show you this beauties, find in the description to this tour or any other description of videos on my YouTube channel, and there will be the link to buy me a coffee platform, and you can tip me there, or PayPal. Just find the description of the tours. Thank you. Let's go and dance. Can you hear the music? Marichka Чичери. It's Kiev Montmartre. Everybody is dancing here. I can't stand.
Чесався, прилизався, в нові штани вбрався, а як вийшов на подвір'я, на порозі всівся, а як вийшов на подвір'я, на порозі всівся. Ходилася торба з горбу, а в тій торбі раки, а хто ж мене молодую пригорне до серця, а хто ж мене молодую пригорне до серця. Люлі, як виростеш моє доню, дали хлопцям дулі, як виростеш моє доню, дали хлопцям дулі. А у діда Василя уся музика своя, балалайка, мандаліна, синтезатор по коліна, балалайка, мандаліна, синтезатор по коліна.
Guys, are you dancing there? You should be dancing. You should be dancing. My mom is writing the time super. Super. It's Kiev. You will never get bored when you're in Kiev.
Била мати Вивезли Марічку арматурним гаком, щоб Марічка не стояла на порозі.
Okay, let me tell you the sense of these lyrics. It's a very complicated song. Yes, thank you, Diana. Thank you. My mom is adding the time the best. So this is the educational song for the young girl, and her mom teaches her. Her mom teaches her to be polite and to work hard, like to brush your hair and to just not to be lazy. We are walking along Andrew's descent, and it's called Landscape. I'm sorry, not Landscape Alley. We have already watched Landscape Alley. The Artists Alley. You can see there are no artists because they will come tomorrow. They are working on Saturday and Sunday, and they hang the pictures here. So here you will see the pictures, and they sell them. I'm here in Kiev dancing with you. I was just trembling when I was buying those tickets here, and please send me, I don't know, even the words of support on my other YouTube videos. Just write to me some nice reviews, because it's challenging to make a decision to go to the war, to go to the country and to the city where the drones are flying like snowflakes in winter. So thank you everyone for supporting me. Thank you for buying me coffees, and thank you for being with me in Kiev today. Thank you. You're wonderful. So let me show you Kiev now. It's one of the platforms. There are 3 of them on this 2-kilometer path. And from this platform, from this observation platforms, you can see different parts of the city. Like this is Podil, the lower city with the Kiev Eye, where we are going to finish in a while. And you can see the trees, the greenery. So this is the city that's still standing. That is invincible Kiev that is not going to be conquered. That is the place where the invincible people live. That is the Andrew's Church from another perspective. And I just want to finish the tour and make this gorgeous picture. Okay, let's go. Let's go, and I will take you down to the Podil. There will be another piece of music. They will be dancing again. And we will talk about serious things when I will be descending. So if you have never visited Kiev, you definitely should do this. And now let's fight all together, not just Ukrainians. Look at this absolutely amazing Andrew's Church. I am so glad that I can bring you joy, and most of all, I am happy that I can remind you about the people who are smiling and dancing just in the face of war. It's not so easy to live here these days. On the streets you can see people who are crying, especially near the churches. Especially in the city center, they are sometimes traveling to see these memorials where there are names of their sons or husbands who died. There are special installations. You can feel that. Sometimes you can hear air raid sirens, but somehow people adapted to the war. It's not good at all. It's not good at all, but we don't have other choice. Now I understand when I'm here that we cannot just sit here and wait until the war is finished. We need to develop the country. We need to work, to smile, to dance, to go somewhere, to drink coffee. Because they are fighting and dying for this. The soldiers are dying and fighting, so we can work and live here. Probably, I don't know for how long this war will continue, but I'm sure that Ukrainians have changed a lot. And follow my channel. I'm going to develop these thoughts. Not now, it's kind of philosophical thing, but I'm going to share some thoughts with you. How we have changed, why we are so kind of unique and different from Russians. I think that the most striking fact why we're different is because we are not afraid. We are not afraid of anything. We are not afraid to dance here in the midst of war. We are not afraid to be in Kiev, and we are not afraid to fight. Let's go and see the golden hours of Andrew's descent. It's absolutely spectacular street. So you can see the cobblestones. It's very steep, very difficult to walk here in winter because the cobblestones like very slippery, and they called it kind of black ice when the ice is very thin and you just you can not walk but just slide from the top to the bottom. So it's called the hidden vein of the city because this street, Andrew's Descent, connects the old Kiev Hill, the place where nobles, the prince used to live, and the lower city where the merchants used to live. Today, as many years ago, the street is full of so-called bohemian atmosphere because you see these cafes, the sellers, the artists, they are selling everything here. And it's called Kiev Montmartre. It's been always full of artists and craftsmen. Before the war, there were so many people selling these ceramic objects, souvenirs, decorations, vyshyvankas. I'm going to focus on something if they allow me. And if it's a very nice walk to go from upper city to the lower city, and to eat in traditional restaurants, to buy something delightful for your soul. It's nothing Ukrainian. I will show you later. Thank you for staying on my tour. We're looking now at the beautiful Baron's house. Or, no, not Baron's house. Baron's house is on the Golden Gate. It's Richard's castle. It's covered in mystery because the person who built it died unexpectedly, and it was built as a profitable house, so the apartments could be given for rent. And this entrepreneur, he went bankrupt, and then he was murdered. And then his wife, with the kids, decided to kind of give the rooms for rent, but nobody wanted to live here because it was not possible to sleep. There were different sounds, like they heard the sounds of mourning, the sounds of whistling, and these sounds were heard everywhere through the building. And just many years later, people found out that the builders put some garbage, eggshells and pottery into the pipes, into the ventilation system, and that is why the wind that was kind of outside was causing these frightening noises. And really, this building has never been occupied fully by the people, so it's really cursed house of Kiev. And it's abandoned, and it has always been abandoned. Very unsuccessful, but beautiful project. There were attempts to open the art gallery and the restaurants, but nothing, just nothing. It was built 100 years ago in 1912, and this is the ghost city of millionaires, just the beginning of it. I'm not going to take you inside, but it's a very colorful project. It was built for the richest people in Ukraine because they wanted to live in such gorgeous places, Andrew's Descent. But they made the buildings very high, and that is why the cracks began to appear on the walls, and there were kind of the floor began to slide. That is because the buildings are standing on the not on the straight surface. So they didn't follow their kind of engineering thoughts, and now the millionaires don't want to live there because there is a lot of water in the basements, and there is a lot of problems in the apartments. But it's so beautiful. I will not go inside, but it's just amazing. You feel like you are in I don't know, somewhere in Amsterdam, for example. I'm just going to show you. Are you interested to see the Ghost City of Millionaires? Because I have a special tour, but I will not make it this time. So I'm just going to begin just to show you how it looks like. So the richest people tried to sell these apartments, but they couldn't sell them. And unfortunately, many apartments are standing abandoned, and even with the war, it's difficult to sell them. So we are going to finish. I'm already almost finishing the tour, and more people joined. Some people left our tour, but it's okay. So I'm going to take you down, and we're going to. It's going to be long. I feel that we spent too much time dancing, and that is why it will take me about, I think, a good 15 minutes to go down to the lower city. So please, just to let you know that it's not the end of the tour. It's okay. We are on YouTube, so you will stay with me if you have time. Thank you for buying me coffees, and thank you for your support. I really appreciate your help, and I'm very thankful to every visitor, to every voyager who decides to support me. Thank you 1,000 times. I hope that by the time I will be in Prague, I will reach 1,000 followers, and we will celebrate it here in Kiev. Yes, let's go. Let's go, and we are going to the lower city. So the cobblestones continue. This is the theater. This is the interesting kind of the head of Gogol. It's the Ukrainian writer, and this is how our monuments look like, because in the case of shelling, these bags of sand will protect them from the shrapnel. That is the high ladder that will lead you to the bold hill where the witchers gather for their Sabbath. And we are going to see the theater and to go down. People aren't really leaving. Going to buy me a coffee takes you out, and then to come. Oh, I understand. So that is why the number of people are constantly changing. That is because people are just using the buy me a coffee platform. Thank you so much, my dear. Thank you. Thank you. So there are beautiful old houses which are not kind of in very good condition, but there are walls that are magical. And there is one story. There is the doctor who lived behind these doors, and the doctor, he really invented the ambulance system. He was a professor. He always was helping the people. And one day, the lady came, the daughter, the teenage girl came to him and asked him to come to her mom. And when he came in the evening, he found out that the mom is there. She is sick, but the daughter who was coming, it wasn't a daughter. So this daughter died a year ago, and there was a ghost who was visiting him, because there was a picture near the bedside table of that lady, and she told the doctor that This was her daughter passed away a year ago, and at that moment the doctor just moved from here because he thought that this house is not good for him to live. But I would like to stand in front of these doors to tell you the story of the guide, of Kyiv guide, because he was killed in this war, and he has an interesting project. He was always decorating the doors on Andrew's descent. So he was standing and working on this door and on other doors. That was his kind of hobby. That was his love, to restore the doors. And every single time when I'm walking along the descent, I remember this, my fellow colleague who went to the war as a soldier, because people of all walks of life go there, like the managers, the tour guides, and many of them are dying. So this phrase, "we are losing the best of the best," is repeated by many Ukrainian politicians and people, but it's really true. Russians are not counting the people, and nobody is mourning them because they are recruiting, I don't know, psychopaths and the people from the prisons, imprisoned people. And we are losing the cleverest, the most beautiful souls. And these doors on Andrew's descent is another confirmation. Who will repair these doors? Who will make the tours? And who will make the other jobs in Ukraine? It needs to be stopped as quickly as possible, because it's not possible for the Ukrainians to stop, but we can lose the lives, and there might be the time when everybody, like the majority of the people, would be lost. I wanted to tell you, when I'm walking down, about these differences. The Kyiv I left, the Kyiv that is now. The Kyiv is living. You can really feel that people are not like walking here. It's the illusion of war of living in the war zone, because the life outside of Kyiv is absolutely different, especially closer to the places where there are fights, and there are people constant on the funerals on the central squares of Kyiv happen quite often, because noble people, kind of famous people, die, and they are not buried in these churches, but they have services, the last services in these central churches and monasteries of Kyiv, and there are crowds of people coming, so it's also visible. It's also visible. And the whole, we have light. When I was leaving the city in December, there was no light, no electricity, but now there is light, and it changes everything. Sorry, I need to cough. And you can feel the war here also, but you can't see it like when you are looking at the streets. You will see it when I will take you to Irpin. That is the city that was ruined, where the fightings were happening. You will see the ruinations. You will see that in Kyiv, in the special streets where there are ruinations, but not here in the city center. Or when you are here, but if you hear the siren, you will also feel that you are in the war zone. But people are trying to get back here because, because probably they feel the same I'm feeling now. I'm feeling like a tourist in Prague. I'm constantly waiting for the revival. By the way, this is called Revival. This beautiful artwork, it's called National Revival. It was created in 2014. It's Ukraine. The beautiful lady in embroidered shirt and in this wreath holding a boy. And we are all waiting for this moment. And some people just decide, if they are not afraid of sirens, if they don't have kids, they decide that it's better for them to live here in Ukraine, in Kyiv, and to continue doing what they are doing. Some people decide to live outside, and that is their choice, especially when they have the kids. But now I can understand that everybody has to decide the future, because it's not possible to live like a kind of jumping refugee all the way through. It's really, the decisions should be made, and many people decide to come back. It's very, very good. It's very good because really Ukraine needs the people to rebuild the country. Without the people, there will be nothing. Thank you for the support, and thank you for visiting Kiev with me. So let's look at the revival. And let's go down. I remember here, walking here during the blackouts, so there was absolutely nothing, no lamps are working, so that was the creepy time. Many centuries ago it was called a red light district. For some period of time it was the favorite street among the unmarried and wealthy men, and there were many houses of tolerance. The brothels, they were located here, and in the 19th, 18th century there were in one of these brothels, the city governors. One of the city governors died in the embrace of a young girl, and that was a scandal. After that, this red light district was kind of replaced, was transported to another street. So, like the wealthy man, they have to be very careful with their heart and with their body, because when they are not very young but they want to go to the brothel, that might finish as it was finished with this with that kind of one of the Kiev city governors. It's the museum of one street. Here you can have a glimpse of the Andrew's descent, how it looked like a century ago, so you can see the atmosphere of the old street. The area is very beautiful. It's very romantic. I decided to begin my visit here to Kiev from my favorite place because that is actually where I'm going to have coffee. It's one of the best coffee shops in the city. It's called the Chocolate House, and they have beautiful murals. You see, it's full of people. I'm going, as always, take you to this cherry liquor house. So that is the place where you can buy coffees and indulge yourself with amazing chocolates. I will not go inside. You all know the chocolates, how they look like, but they are handmade here. So if you like the sweet drinks, that is where you can have it. And let me show you. That is the ceiling. It's covered by the red bottles, and it's kind of a ceiling that goes down, 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 down. And here you can see the sweet liquor, cherry liquor, very sweet wine. You can buy a bottle of this wine and just add it to your Glunt wine or this winter drink. But here is full of. Let me show you a cherry drink. So here what the people are drinking here, this cherry flavored sweet liquor. Cheers, thank you. And that is where you can have a bite. You will eat here the ribs, the pork ribs. And we are finishing here on the Contract Square. Yes, a toast to victory. Great, Christine, absolutely wonderful comment. Thank you for that. Absolutely great comment. Toast for victory. It is so well said. A toast for victory, everyone who is here with me on the tour. A toast for victory. The square is full of people. It's being like the contract square, the business square, where the people were coming and making business. They were concluding contracts for the next year. We are on Podil. This is the oldest part of Kiev. It's the lower city, and we are at the foot of Dnieper River. We are close to the port now. So this is how the windows are protected. We are on the place where the artisans settled in ancient times, and that was the active trade here. Active trade that happened here up to the end of the 18th century, because the fairs were held here. And the fairs, it means that the people from Germany, Poland, Lithuania were coming here to make deals. It was a European, like Eastern European center for making business contracts. It has absolutely beautiful architecture, old architecture, and you can feel like you are in different Kyiv. It's not glamorous. It's old. It's dirty. This is Kyiv Mahila Academy, the place where the students are. Different epochs and styles coexist here in this picturesque neighborhood. But looking at these amazing views, I would like to remind you that it's just the illusion, because the reality is a little bit not here. I began with the story how I met the soldier who told to his wife, who was meeting him yesterday, I can't turn off the war. We need to admit that many of people who live in Kyiv have never been to war. They have never seen the death, but there are so many people who give their lives for the fact that I can walk here with the gimbal, for the fact that all these people can go and enjoy coffee or cherry drink or pork ribs, and to enjoy everything that I was showing to you. I will repeat you 1,000 times that I feel it with my really flesh and bones here. The price that they paid. I don't know how it's happening. I don't know, probably in my heart, because I'm reading so much. I'm not escaping from this. I'm reading about the people who died. I want to tell the world about them. I even want to set a separate project for that. Because the world needs to know, and our people needs to know the price. Some people don't understand the price, even the kind of Ukrainians. It's not good, it's not bad. This is how the kind of the psychological system is working. Some people just decide to escape and not to read all this war, I don't know, and the military reports, because they try to survive this way. I'm telling you about this. I have this YouTube channel where I'm going to tell you even more about war and about Ukraine. That is why my choice is a little bit different, and I feel that they pay the price even for the air that I'm breathing. Probably it sounds kind of loud to you, and but it's not artificial. This is really what I feel when I came here. I am feeling absolutely grateful to those young people who died in this absolutely senseless war to protect Kyiv city and the rest of Ukraine. Glory to our heroes. Glory to Ukraine. They deserve this. They deserve these words. They deserve this mentioning, even if I mention them as a whole, not as like name by name, but if I tell you, it's really important. So the world needs to remember this, and the war is not over, and it's the beginning of a very important moment, and it's the beginning of a counter-offensive, and then probably will be another counter-offensive, who knows. But we need to get back our territories. Russia is just fighting as like they are thinking that they are, I don't know, in the 18th century. The world is telling to Russia, stop, it's not 18th century, this is the 21st century, you shouldn't do so, with the sanctions, with the different methods of influence, how to make the war stop. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. yes, they are fighting to protect democracy worldwide, not just in your country. And that is very important, because this will send the message. This victory will send the message to the other tyrannies, like to the other countries who live under this tyrant system, that the world has changed. Thank you so much for being with me today, and thank you so much for buying me coffees, and thank you for supporting. Please just join me, keep joining me these 9 times, and bring your friends with you. I want you to see Ukraine. I want you to understand that people are not kind of demoralized here. They are living, and they just want to continue their lives. Thank you. Thank you. If you have questions, I'm staying here for a couple of moments. We have been there on the top, you see? We have started behind the Andrews Church. That was my favorite tour, and I began with my favorite tour. So I hope that you enjoyed it. So I have 1 million questions. Oh, Julia, don't shut up. Okay, you can send me your questions on Marvelous Kyiv. Don't forget to send my link to your friends, Marvelous Kyiv. No, I didn't bring my book of wisdom today. Sorry. I was just walking, and I will bring next time. Okay. I'm filming a lot of content for my YouTube channel, so I have a lot of equipment, and it's very difficult to walk with all these tripods. And I looked at my book of wisdom and put it aside. Is there an obelisk in that town? No, probably obelisks. I will try to find to you an obelisk, but I'm not sure. I have lilac forest. Okay, I am screaming now. Lilac forest, lilac forest. Don't forget, lilac forest, and just put the time and mark this time that you need to see that miracle of Kyiv. No, my parents are not in safe area. They are in the military zone. It's the Zaporizhia is under, not Zaporizhia city under occupation, but some of the cities of Zaporizhia region, they are under occupation. So my mom is definitely close to the front. My husband is just everywhere in Ukraine, sowing the plants. Thank you. I'm Ukrainian, and I'm brave. Yes, thank you. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Goodbye. Love you all. Thank you for your support. Thank you. This place will fascinate you with the special atmosphere. And that is the Greek monastery that is just chiming. Probably you hear the bells. Thank you and goodbye. You are the loveliest people on the planet. Thank you. Goodbye.